Welcome, this is Daniel in Sedona. I want to talk to you about how to stop negative thoughts. And I probably want to start this by saying you probably will never stop negative thoughts. The mind is that nutty. But you can disidentify with them. You can not hold on to them so closely and identify yourself, your character with these thoughts. And how I do this nowadays is that as a negative thought starts to rear its head, as it starts to want to gain momentum, I just look at it, kind of in my mind. I turn my head and say, really, you're going to come up with that story? And I can feel my emotions, and I can feel my egoic mind want to run with that, and I'll start having these ideas about it, and then it can take me on this. I could start getting super angry about it if I follow that. But nowadays, what's really helped me to not be so affected and taken over by them is to pull myself apart from that, to kind of, I know it's a familiar idea, but to become the observer of it, to become the witness to it, to become awareness to it. It's all those ideas, and it doesn't have to be like this right away. It's just you pull out a little bit, you start to notice it more, but once you start to open that crack of awareness, instead of just being the reaction, you start to pull out of it and start to be aware of that thought. Wow, that's a crazy thought. Do I want to go there? Okay, I want to go there. And then you go there, or you don't. But it just becomes easier and easier. But once you open up that crack, it's hard to put it back again. That crack will open up, and open it, and you start to be more into the awareness and less into the mind, less into the reactionary mind. So don't worry about if you haven't got this, or it's taken a long time, or it's a pain in the butt for you. It's just that once you get an idea of it, once you kind of open that up and practice it, it gets easier and easier and easier. And then pretty soon you're like, wow, I almost went there, but I stayed in loving awareness. And it's not something that you need to be a monk, or you need to meditate 5 hours a day or anything. You don't have to be totally drastic about it, but you can just practice it. Every time it comes up, somebody says something to you that you normally have a reaction to, and you just take a breath, and you just kind of start by deciding, do I want to believe this story, this thought that's being presented in my head? And the more you kind of just take a moment to decide, to make a choice about that, the more you start to realize that being, that version of you that constantly went into reaction mode, that's an old version of you, and that's one that you don't have to have. That's what's so cool about it, is that you may think, I thought, that this reaction or this belief that I needed this and this had to be this way was not me, was not who I was. It was my mind telling me that I needed to be this way, that I should be this. But in reality, I was the one that was sitting in awareness, allowing that or not allowing that. I'm the one that's always in the awareness, and just kind of sitting there in this place of just being, and then watching this program pop up and deciding whether I want to run it or not. And sometimes I just don't run it, and I just sit back in that awareness.